time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Welcome everyone to Earth Changes News for October 19th, 2011. I have a few stories here I wanted to report on. I know I haven't been on for a while, and that's because I've had a barrage of PC problems and a lot of errors. So until I got those straightened out, I didn't want to make any blog TV shows, and I didn't want to really update my site. So now that I got most of them straightened out, I have a few stories here dealing with Earth changes. The first one I want to talk about is this story out of Lake Michigan. It says Lake Michigan storms bring big waves and high winds. So let me bring this up. It said the southern section of Lake Michigan could see waves of up to 25 feet or more later on Wednesday, with wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour, prompting shoreline warnings from southwestern Michigan into Wisconsin. Warnings for storm-force winds extend to parts of Lake Huron into Thursday morning, with forecasts for a lesser impact up to into Lake Superior, the National Weather Service said. Gale-force winds of up to 45 miles per hour already were pushing waves of up to 10 feet into the shores into the Chicago area by midday, forcing the Park District to close part of the lakefront jogging and cycling path. They said we expect those speeds to build across the rest of the lake through the afternoon, all the way up to northern parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, toward the upper peninsula of Michigan, all the way through the lake. He goes on to say that conditions like these are seen typically about twice a year, and the forecast for winds, waves, and flooding are similar to the storm that struck in late September. So that's a story over there. They're having a really windy, nasty weather. The next story I wanted to get to you guys is a story about, I believe, quakes that are happening right now around Papua New Guinea and the New Britain region. It says magnitude 6.0 quake has hit New Britain region and Papua New Guinea. A 6.0 earthquake has hit New Britain region, Papua New Guinea on Tuesday, October 18, 2011. The depth was 21 kilometers or 13 miles deep, and it was 62 miles east-southeast of Kimbe, New Britain, and that's pretty much all the information I have for you right now. So 6.0 earthquake has hit both those areas. Now, there's another story here that I found quite interesting, and that is the story about, let me bring it up here, a dust storm out in Texas. They're having serious dust storms in Texas right now. It says dust storm roils through Texas South Plains. Winds gusting at more than 70 miles per hour churned up a dust storm that rolled through Texas South Plains during the Monday afternoon commute. Now, as you know, they've had a serious drought there for the last few months. And, of course, the windier it gets, the more dusty it is, because it's very dry there. It says dust kicked up by westerly breezes ahead of a strong cold front restricted visibility to about 5 miles all afternoon, said National Weather Service. That was nothing compared to the 8,000-foot rolling dust cloud that moved through the city just before 6 p.m., dropping visibility to between 0 and less than a quarter of a mile. So that's the story over there in Texas. So they're having some serious problems there. It says the U.S. Drought Monitor map released October 11th showed much of Texas, including the South Plains, would still experience exceptional drought, the most severe category. So, for those of you keeping up with that, should come of no surprise. And then I have a story here, a spat of quakes around the Mount Rainier area. It says a scientist in Washington State say there have been a spat of earthquakes around Mount Rainier in recent weeks, but that it isn't a concern. Pacific Northwest Seismologist Network's Bill Steele says the activity is normal, but he says scientists are watching the volcano closer because of two quakes recorded Friday. The first was a 3.4 magnitude quake that struck west of the mountain near Ashford. It was followed by about an hour later with a 2.9 magnitude quake under the volcano. University of Washington Emeritus Professor Steve Malone says data shows at least 7 earthquakes in 2 weeks. He says there are frequently earthquakes around Mount Rainier, averaging several each month, and that recent activity shouldn't cause alarm. You know, I have a saying, folks. When they say don't panic, panic. You know, I don't know why they want to mention not to panic, but I would look at Mount Rainier. I'm not exactly sure how explosive that is, or what kind of volcano that actually is, when it exploded, or how forceful an explosion that could do, but I would look into it if I were you guys. And let's see the next story. There's another volcano out in Chile. The Chilean volcano's ash grounds flights. It says airline officials say an ash cloud from a recently reawakened volcano in southern Chile has once again forced the cancellation of scores of flights in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and Uruguay. You know, I got a lot of emails from people saying that as we go through these earth changes, the volcanoes around the world are going to be, you know, blowing up and becoming more active because of the magma. You know, as the magma moves, and these tectonic plates move so frequently now, that the volcanoes are going to be spewing out and exploding on a more frequent basis. And here's another story, as I say that. 2 new volcano eruptions at the Canary Islands. And this is also October 17th. 2 new volcanic eruptions have been confirmed near Spain's El Hierro Island in the Canaries, where 500 people spent another night outside their homes after being evacuated as precautionary measures. That's just like the 3rd or 4th story already on volcanoes. And then we have, I think I'll make this the last one, I guess. Yeah, I'll make this the last story. It says more than 12 cyclones have been predicted for Australia this season. It says Australia's northern regions may be assaulted by more than 12 cyclones in the coming months due to La Nina weather conditions, according to the country's weather service. The Bureau of Meteorology said it is likely another less powerful La Nina will progress in 2011 into 2012 that could trigger damaging cyclones and floods. It says in its tropical cyclone season outlook released Monday, the BOM urged communities from Exmouth to Broome to start arranging early disaster response action plans in anticipation of the weather disturbance, which could result to possible losses in lives, property, and infrastructure, and possible inaccessibility from adjacent communities and states. Well, at least, you know, it's nice of them to actually prepare us because they know what's coming. You know, it's a nice way to say, get stuff ready. And I think that's all the stories I have for you guys for today. Let me just double check that. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. So that's the updated news, guys, as far as earth changes go. And again, I know I haven't been making videos lately, and that's because I've had a whole myriad of PC problems with updates and stuff messing up my PC. And hopefully I'll be able to have my Block TV show this Sunday. I know I haven't had a show for the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, guys, but you know, unless I have my computer running perfectly, I really don't like to have a show. And I now got it pretty much back the way I like it. So I'll have a show this Sunday on Block TV, hopefully. Take it easy, guys, and stay safe. This has been Earth Changes News for October 19th, 2011.
I'm not afraid to take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, everybody, come take my hand, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together.